Hi guys, so welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to talk about mental health. And so if you are triggered by it or not comfortable hearing about it, then don't watch this video. But if you are going through something and you would like a perspective on specifically antidepressant, then you might want to watch this. I think I want to talk about antidepressants because one, we are going through a unique trying times, and I think when we are going through such a hard time, our mental health is tested. And so I think a lot of us are struggling a little bit or maybe a lot with coping mentally because of what's happening. Yeah, I just want to use this platform to raise awareness in mental health and to help destigmatize antidepressant drugs and also just, normalize talking about mental health because it is something that is very important and if not taken seriously can have a serious effect or lasting effect on people and also the people around us. And also I want to create this video because I know that when I was trying to research on antidepressant, I really looked for information online, whether it be YouTube, Reddit, websites, and so I think this is just another personal information if any of you are trying to seek information in regards to antidepressants. So what are my qualifications in talking about this topic? I was diagnosed with major depressive disorder and generalized anxiety last 2 years, almost 3 years now, and I started taking antidepressant for the last 10 months. And I think that I have a pretty good observation on how it affected my mental health and helped me getting out the depression woes and really get out of the depths of depression that hindered me from doing functional things for a normal human being. So yeah, a little bit of background. So I got diagnosed with depression I think about 3 years ago now, and so I didn't start taking antidepressant up until a year after I was diagnosed because of course, just like anyone out there, I think I had a lot of apprehension in taking such strong drug. There was a lot of stigma around using drugs that kind of stabilize the mental function of the brain. So back then it didn't really sit well with me to take antidepressant because I guess it was largely because of fear and my ego of convincing myself that I can do it just with talk therapy and holistic lifestyle approach. And so yeah, that's basically what I did for the first year. I went to talk therapy with a psychologist, and when it wasn't working out for me, talk therapy was really a helpful resource for me to get better. But during that first year, it was a roller coaster of emotions. Weekly, it was just a chaotic life to say the least. Like there were days where it was really bad. I think I can't even describe how bad it was. Like, if you're familiar with like having mental breakdowns or episodes, I would have that a lot, like more than just a lot, like many times, enough for my brain to really take a toll. And also, of course, there were better days, but I wouldn't even say that the better days were enough for me to move on with my life or like at least move along with my life without depression hindering what I want to do or like at least what a normal human being should be doing at the least. After a year, I have decided to explore taking antidepressants, and so I sought out help with a psychiatrist to prescribe me drugs. Before that, I did read my own research regarding what I was about to get myself into. From what I remember, there were a lot of fearful moments for me. Like, I was just really scared to take it. I was just super anxious in what it can do to my body. But for me, it was definitely a step forward in taking antidepressants because I really needed it to sustain certain relationships and also to sustain a good relationship with myself without being so reliant on destructive behaviors. And I also just feared for making such damage in my life that I would be regretting it for the rest of my life. And so I took the antidepressant after a lot of research, after a lot of talking to people who are also taking antidepressants. For the first month, I think the first month was definitely the hardest for me because I think I felt all the side effects there is when you take antidepressants. I remember kind of also feeling a sense of relief because when I started taking antidepressant, that was also just me surrendering to finally having a rest in terms of really working hard mentally to combat depression. And when I started to just let go and let drug, I felt that, okay, finally I can kind of give it a rest, at least for a month while the drug is trying to take effect on me. And so although the side effects were pretty horrible, like I was at one point having diarrhea, insomnia, I was sweating a lot, I had bad anxieties, like worse than what I had before taking antidepressants. And I was also having weirdly more suicidal ideation, and I was having really dry mouth, my jaw was locking. It was just like intense side effects for me in regards to like my brain and my emotions. I felt like I was just dazed for the first month of really not feeling anything aside from those side effects. It's, a lot of people, when you ask them what taking antidepressants feel like, they would often say, or you would often read that it makes you feel like a zombie. And that's a pretty good description to describe taking antidepressant, at least for me in the first month, because I was definitely zombified. Like, I definitely felt that feeling of numbness, of nothingness. And of course, at first I was very much scared, but I was lucky enough that I had a psychologist and psychiatrist to talk to during those hard few months, especially the first month. And they were able to talk me through what I was feeling, and it kept on reassuring me that everything was okay. They were open to me if I was feeling very fearful or anxious about it. For me, it was definitely a comfortable transition to talk therapy into talk therapy plus medication. I remember as months passed by, I got better and better, but it was definitely a slow progress for me in terms of getting better. Maybe I was just also in a hurry to I also had that idea of, okay, this medication will definitely help me immensely in my moods, in my depression, in my anxiety. And of course, that was a bit unrealistic for me to expect that. But of course, I'm just a person who just really wanted to get out of the depression state and anxieties, and I was a bit impatient. I kind of scared my psychiatrist because I was like, okay, I feel like that it's not working. Of course, she can only base her opinion based on what I tell her. And I was telling her that, I was having really bad side effects, and it got to a point where she was telling me, okay, maybe it's not working. Maybe you need to go to a dietitian in terms of kind of supporting you through food, through diet, through supplements to really make you feel better. But I didn't go through that route because I believed in medication a lot during that time. Like I had faith in medication, and also, I had 2 doctors, and I trusted my psychologist more than my psychiatrist because I've been working with my psychologist for a while before I saw a psychiatrist. My psychologist was just like, she told me that this is one of the special and unique times when truly a drug can make you feel worse first, and then it'll make you feel better, because that's definitely how it goes with using medication in terms of stabilizing your mental illness. That's usually the process of you get pretty bad, or you get pretty worse first, and then you start getting better. And I was lucky enough after a month that I started getting better, although very slightly, but I can still look back and be confident that, yeah, it was definitely getting better overall. And I was lucky enough to have that effect, because there are also people who it's hard for them to find the right drug for them. For me, it only took one try for me to find the right kind of drug for me. If you're wondering, I'm taking sertraline once every day. I don't know, I just feel normal at this point, although of course I still have my bad days, but nothing compared to what I was going through before. Like, I don't remember the last time that I felt really horrible. I don't remember the last time I was in such great despair that everything was black and white. Like, literally everything was gray. My vision was gray because I could not find beauty and joy and everything. And right now it's pretty much vivid, and I could say that, like, I'm pretty alive, and I would like to stay it that way because I'm definitely enjoying being alive. Before, if you would have asked me, I would be so against taking medication, taking antidepressants. Having personally known the effects on me, I would definitely encourage a lot of people who are struggling with getting out of the depression, of getting out of that deep hole. And if it's taking a lot from you, if it's taking a lot from your family, from your friends, I would say that it's worth taking a risk with medication, because science has gone such a long way already that I think medication or antidepressants are pretty reliable. At least that's just, in my personal opinion, and also from the people I've talked to. I remember my initial doctor, my psychologist, when I was finally getting better, she was telling me, I respected your process, that you didn't want to take medications right away, and you want to do it your own way first. I respected that. But she said that there were times where, she just felt bad for me because I was working really hard. That medication, she saw that medication could have helped me. But of course, she didn't want to push that to me because, well, first, she's a great doctor. She wouldn't want to, she never pushed me to do anything. It was always on my own pace. It was always, she just, if anything, she just guided me through a good path in healing in my own terms, and I'm pretty lucky in that sense that I was able to find a doctor like her. So it's been 10 months now. One of the bad experiences I've had with antidepressants is that like when I miss taking my meds for 2 days, it's pretty bad. It's like I would feel just miserable. I would feel symptoms like the first month that I started taking the pill, and just don't do it. Like if you are considering taking antidepressants, like you should always follow what the doctor is advising you to do. Always be committed with taking your medication as prescribed. And if you are forgetful like me sometimes, it would also help that you tell people around you to kind of like check on you, because it's pretty hard to always remember to take medication every day. Like I know it's such a normal thing for people who are medicated for something as serious as mental illness or diabetes or whatever. It we can get pretty complacent once we start feeling better, but you should always stick to the plan. So for me, after a year, so 2 more months until I see my psychiatrist again, and we will be reassessing if I need to take more or if I need to take less, or if I can already taper off of medication. Maybe I'll give you an update when that happens. But right now, all I can say is that I know that without medication, it would have been so hard for me to feel better about myself, feel better about everything. I'm really grateful for medication. I'm not saying that medication alone can help you feel better if you're struggling with mental illness. It takes, for what I went through, for me, it took a lot of awareness. It took a lot of educating myself consistently with mental illness. It took a lot of lifestyle change, trial and error, and up to this point, even if I could say that I'm feeling better about myself, I still continue to do these things faithfully, because I don't know, it's now become my life to be okay mentally, because I've been through such a dark place. No, that dark place. I just never want to go back to that. But of course, I don't know what can happen in the next year or two. Who knows? The depression might come back. But for now, what I'm doing is that if it does come back, and I'm not trying to like manifest that or whatsoever, but if it does, if that's my destiny, or if that's what's to happen to me in the next year or in the next month, I would like to be equipped with resources that I can stick to, that I know works best for me. As much as it was such a struggle, and as hard as it was, I feel like I'm not afraid of being depressed anymore, and I think that's a good thing. My doctor, the last time I talked to her, she was like, I'm glad you're feeling better, but I'm just, basing on my patients, a lot of them come back because there would be relapse, or, life would just be really hard on them. It would take such a huge effect on them mentally, and they would need to do talk therapy again. And I'm definitely not naive to that possibility. Who knows what the future holds for me mentally, but as of right now, at least I can look back at this video and tell myself like I'm able to be in a good place with medication, with support of friends and family, with support of myself. I think that's, of course, medication helped me a lot, but if you were to ask me what really helped me other than medication, it's being my own best friend. It's really putting myself first more than anything and anyone, and just working on myself and getting to know myself. And yeah, that has worked wonders for me. And yeah, so if you're struggling with depression or anxiety, my heart goes out to you, because I know I've been there. I have been in such a dark place that I never saw a light in many months. I know what it's like. I know how lonely it could get. And I'm not saying that, oh, it'll get better, because sometimes you believe that it won't get better, but I hope this video can provide you at least resources for you to go to, whether it be medication, whether it be seeking professional help, whether it be asking support from your friends and family, whether it be finally trying to get to know yourself and putting yourself first more than anything, and putting your mental health first. You'll be on your way soon, and I wish you the best in terms of your mental health, and I wish everyone the best. So yeah, that ends my video. If you like this kind of video about mental health, give this video a thumbs up so I know if I need to make more of this kind of content on my channel. And so yeah, I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye!